There was a podcast clip we talked about earlier this month, or I guess technically it was last month, but it was Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin talking about his offseason, and something came up in that conversation where Deion revealed to us that Shedeur told him, don't come to camp. We haven't spoken to Shedeur since that had become public, and yesterday we had the opportunity to ask Shedeur. Mary Kay asked a question to Shedeur, hey, Shedeur, why'd you say this? You want to explain? And this was Shedeur's answer. I'm very curious what you guys think about Shedeur's answer to that question. Here it is.
Yeah, I told him don't come.
And why did you say that?
Because, I mean, like I look at it at my own point of view. Like, I don't want him coming to see me right now because I want to get to where I want to go then for him to see me. I don't want him to come and see me, get a couple reps and, he's cheering like a good dad. Like, nah, you can't be proud of me right now. I got to get to where I'm going, and I know it's a lot I got to do to get there. So it's kind of like I just want everything that I'm doing is just, like, focus on this time, and I don't want no distractions because we know how the media, we know how everybody will take it and take away from the team just from him being my own dad showing up. So, it's a gift and a curse at the same time.
So, Earl, you and I talked about this upstairs in the office before the show, and you have a pretty unique perspective on this. So I want to start with you. What'd you make of Shedeur's comments, and do you agree or disagree with what Shedeur said?
I disagree with Shedeur Sanders, but I totally 100% understand where he's coming from his point of view. He said he takes it from his point of view. He wants to put himself in a position to where his father can see him do more than just get 3 or 4 reps when he comes to practice, especially if he feels like that his father being there is already going to create a stir and be a distraction. Mm-hmm. So from a professional standpoint, I get it, and I 100% understand why he took that view. But I disagree because life is short and death is real. I lost my father suddenly to a heart attack before I got in this game. And when I heard that, the first thing I thought about, Shedeur, your dad would be proud of you just because you accomplished a goal and, you made your dream a reality. Whether you getting 1 or 2 reps or you taking 20 reps, he'll be overly proud of you. I started off the show saying I started off my career answering phones. I wish my father could have pulled up the 92.3 The Fan and watched me answer a phone after being a knucklehead and a mess up the majority of my life. I know he's very family oriented. I know his father means a lot to him. And for me, knowing that your parent can be snatched from you suddenly. Remember, I lost both of my parents suddenly. I just have a different point of view of tomorrow ain't promised. The next hour ain't promised. And knowing that his dad was going through that, if he really wanted to take that opportunity to see his son do his thing, I would have said the hell with the media. Screw y'all, kiss my ass. All that unnecessary stuff that y'all be doing, this ain't that. This real life. This my family. And as a kid, you want to make your parent proud, and you want your parent to be able to see you live out your dreams. I didn't get that opportunity with my father. So when I heard that, it was just like, yeah, I get it, and I understand it because y'all got a huge last name, and it's a lot to come with that. But it's like, man, Shedeur, the hell with those people. That's your dad. That's your dad, bro.
Gee. Yeah, here's what I'll just keep it 100. I've always had a problem with the line of questioning about questioning his father. The first thing that happens when black people get in trouble or black kids get in trouble, they talk about why we ain't got no fathers in the household, why we ain't raising our kids, why we ain't doing that. Coach Prime done raised his kids. Ain't none of them been in jail. They highly successful. They got college degrees. And the fact that people during a process say, "Oh, Deion screwed him up," or "Do you wish you disowned your father?" That's crazy, bro.
Crazy work.
I mean, for the fact that he's out here doing that, and he's a man of God. His kids is good kids. They do stuff in the community. So the problem that I got is, why is that even an issue? I look at it like this: if you look at the Mannings and their last name, they did everything that Shedeur and the Sanders didn't do. They said Eli Manning was going to another place. They say Arch Manning is the greatest thing ever moving. And guess what? He only played 2 games. My thing is, I don't understand how you treat one family one way, but the other family's royalty. but they do the same thing. They're all famous. They all got different things that they done. They all got all-time greats at certain positions. So my thing is to even insinuate that he has to not cause some distraction, bro. If Arch Manning is practicing and Eli or Peyton Manning show up, nobody's gonna say that's a distraction.
Right.
That's the wildest thing in the world to me.
I don't know, but who was saying that he's a distraction?
No.
He brought it up that he didn't want him.
But
to.
he's saying that from his point of view.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about from the point of view of
his dad being a distraction.
when he fell to the 5th round, 95% of the world said it was because of his father.
Right. That was certainly yes.
That
There was unfairness within that. But I don't think that has anything to do with what he said specifically here.
No, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's a stigma involved around it because he says, look, I want to get reps, and I get that part. It's the fact that you have to behave in a different way, in a different manner.
Right.
He has to think 5, 6, 7 steps above that. Think about this.
Yeah.
His dad just had cancer.
Right.
He felt that he couldn't even tell his son, I had cancer, because he didn't want to put him in a position where now people ask him about it, and now you got to hear about Prime and this and that and that.
Right.
So he says, I'm not going to talk about it. And I said, that's the wildest thing in the world to me, that even after your son wants to come, he want to come see his son, but they have to actually think about the calculus that, all right, well, how many people is going to show up? What is the media going to say? Is this going to be a distraction? This is why we didn't draft him, because he's a 5th round pick. Now Prime is showing up. He always has to have his dad with him. It's that little corny stuff that really get under people's skin.
Yeah.
It's corny. Like, bro, you proud as hell of your son. Jay is proud as hell of his son. Earl is proud as hell of his daughter. They doing great things. They young, great kids. I don't understand why it is that it's a negative that this dude is outspoken. He's a football guy. He's a man of God, and everybody makes this stuff some sort of level of distraction. That says more about you, that you don't understand why somebody is famous, than it says about any 3 of those people.
I guess I kind of looked at it from a little bit of a different perspective. I have no problem with what he said. I didn't really think about it. Is he saying these things? You guys are taking it, and you may be right. I just wasn't thinking about it, as if he's only saying these things because he doesn't want to hear the media. I was taking it as he wants to be focused and carve his own path. And so he didn't want dad to, he wants to be his own man. That's how I was taking it.
I think two things could be true at the same time.
That's true.
though.
That's true.
I like
think
that too.
Yeah.
I think that he, I keep using the word stewardship, being a good
Yeah.
stewardess. I think he's a good stewardess over his craft, and I think Shedeur Sanders cares about being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL one day. But at the same time, that's still his father, and he can be very sensitive to what people write or have to say about his dad, and that can cause a distraction that might trigger his emotions. People talk about how resilient he is, how poised he is, how well-spoken he is, how mentally tough he is. Even the most mentally strong people can break sometimes.
Absolutely.
And things like that, you just never know the impact it might have on him.
It might be both. It might be. I'm glad you guys brought that up, because I hadn't really thought about he's only, because to me I heard it and I was like, that's awesome. Not that he doesn't want his dad around, because his dad could just come to Cleveland, hang out at his house and not go to practice. You know what I mean? And they could still be together in theory. But I took it as, wow, he's looking to carve his own. Now, I did feel a little sad, and I don't know, maybe I don't know if he totally meant it that way, but you referenced it, Earl. It was a little sad that he said, well, I want my dad to be proud of me so when I accomplish my things. Because like you said, I'm sure his dad is proud of him now.
You're in the NFL, man.
You know, so you shouldn't have to be the starting quarterback or a Pro Bowler for your parent to be proud of you. So I kind of get why he was saying that. I think that was more him than his dad. It's I'll be more proud of myself when I accomplish everything I want to accomplish. But
when I used to play, I didn't want my mom and dad coming to no game and I'm on the bench.
Right, sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's just I want, I want them to see it for what it is. Show them and let me make it worth it, right? But like I just think sometimes like the whole narrative just spun out of control, and the fact that he and you know what the crazy part about it is, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Like that's part of what it is. Like that's why I always told Shedeur. I always said when Shedeur Sanders is here for a reason. People say get him out of town. Nah, I said no. He here for a reason, because there was a segment of the population that believes he is a product of hype, that his father the name is bigger than what it is. He's always been given something. He's always got first team reps, and he was always a person that was thought about as an elite person. Well, guess what? Now, when they say your name, they say you're a 5th round pick, you 4th on the depth chart, and guess what? We want to see you do it. But here's the thing. The great thing about trials and tribulations is once you get an opportunity and you do it and you at the ground level, can't nobody say nothing, because they going to say, you can't say he was given a job. You can't say they spoon-fed him reps. You can't say he didn't have any adversity. Like, dude, my dad had cancer while I was in camp.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell him to come to practice because I said I need to get my money together. I need to get my life together. And so when he hits, if you ball after that, that's everything that you want a franchise quarterback to be. You want them to compartmentalize. You want them to understand the things. You want them to even understand that it's not just me. I got to worry about everybody. And he said, I don't want them to overshadow the team. So that shows a level of maturity. Yeah. It may be best for me, but I don't want that to overshadow the other people. So let's go ahead and we'll meet another time when I'm cooking.
I like that he said, I don't know exactly the words he used, but he was basically like, hey, I got a lot of work to do. Like he seems to have the right attitude. Most rookies, even if they're drafted in the 1st round, are not ready to go right away. They have a lot of work to do. Yeah. In the social media era that we're living in now, we want our guy and we want him right away, and nobody has any patience, myself included. A lot of times, we get in our camps on everything. We've made a decision. I like this guy, not that guy, and no matter what happens, I'm supporting this guy and not that guy. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if any facts change or if we find out new information. It's not. I've decided I'm here, and that's it.
Plant your flag, and that's
right?
it.
And it's just crazy that it gets harder and harder to kind of look at things in an unbiased manner. I mean, we all have some biases, even subliminally. Like, we may not even realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've said this about when there's been a lot of talk about, why are there not a lot of black coaches? And some people are like, well, all the owners are racist. Well, some of them are probably racist, right? Yeah. And some of them are probably not. But you know what? They're rich white dudes. So what are they around? Other white dudes, right? And so you may have a conversation, if you're a rich white guy who's not a racist, and you may have a conversation with another white guy, and you don't even realize it, but like, okay, I'm used to talking to this guy. Maybe I feel like I can relate to him more. So I'm going to hire this guy, not even realize I'm doing it for that reason, and not even giving another guy another chance. And it may be unintended in that case, and that happens. And there's a lot of that in all these circumstances. It's just people are comfortable with whatever.
You said something one year, and I respected you for it because it was facts. He's like, bro, I took an L. When the year Baker came out, I took an L because, Baker turned out to not be what we thought it was going to be here in Cleveland. He's like, but I like Josh Rosen. There wasn't no more Jewish quarterbacks. I said, dog, I like him. Like this, I could like.
I let it, and I really try to pride myself on leaving not emotions because I'm emotional, but like leaving everything out of it. Not caring race, religion. Nothing. Politics. I like to stay, when I make opinions on players, leave all that out of it. But I let the fact that Josh Rosen was Jewish, and there's so few Jewish football players, let alone quarterbacks, very few Jewish professional athletes, period. There's like 15 guys in baseball, that I wanted him to succeed.
Right.
Because I was like, it'd be cool to have some representation in the NFL. But why? And I let that affect.
But that's not a problem.
How I thought he was going to be good.
But it's not a problem. It's not a problem. You want to see that.
Yeah. Right. No. Sure.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. But I was mad at myself that I allowed it to affect my analysis on. Not that I'm going to be perfect anyway. I'm not a genius, but I let it affect my analysis on my quarterback depth chart in terms of what I like.
But here's the thing: when he went out on the field, and he turned out to not be good. You didn't double down and triple down and quadruple down. You was like, bro, I was out of here, bro.
Yeah, that guy sucked.
Just think about it. You know, Bull said we look at it like a microwave. Just think about it, Chicago, right? Me and Mike was talking about this yesterday. They're probably still not even sure if Caleb Williams can play or not.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Or think about what we've done
Trevor
in this
Lawrence.
city when it comes to Evan Mobley, for example, right?
Yeah,
We
sure.
want Evan Mobley to be this finished product so damn bad it ain't funny.
Right.
We want Evan Mobley to be the best player in the NBA.
Clock's ticking, Evan.
He done
I
been in
know.
the league less than 5 years.
I've probably been very unfair with him.
Tick, 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 tick,
Hey,
tick. You better
You're right.
Hey, think about how this
You're right.
offseason has been. No, everybody and their mama. Ev, you got to be the one. You.
Yeah.
And so it's like we do this with the quarterback position. We do this with every damn athlete when it comes to everything. And when I was a kid watching sports, it wasn't like that. Or at least to me, it didn't seem like that. It seemed like, okay, athletes got the first 3 or 4 years of their career to actually show if they were good or not
Right.
and what they can do.
Yeah.
And you went from there. But because of a few players that came along the way who was the anomaly, like a LeBron James, you expect everybody that comes after that supposed to hit the ground running the same way, and it don't work that way.
The coverage of sports and social media, the combination of the two, has led to this, and it's great because we have so much access and so much information.
We got a lot to talk about.
But that's part of the negative of it. And Shedeur said, I give him a lot of credit. I think he has handled himself. I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know
almost flawlessly. Seriously,
what he's doing behind the scenes, but every piece of information I have on him in the public, I think he has handled himself great. And he has, even though he was a 5th-round pick, he still has he has more pressure on him than any 5th-round pick in the history of football. In the history of football. A, his father was one of the greatest players of all time. B, he has a fan base that I don't know what they'll do if he doesn't succeed. People are want him to succeed so bad, and he's on some level he's got to feel that pressure. But he hasn't shown it.
It ain't even like they want.
Yeah.
Here's the difference between them and a lot of people.
Yeah.
It ain't the fact that they want. They believe it.
100%.
No. I call them. I call them the other unbothered. It doesn't matter. Like I went to camp. I did a blog. I went to camp, and I went to camp. You know, I'm emotional too. Matter of fact, this is the emotional crew right here.
Yeah, right. We're very
I got to camp and said, unacceptable. This is not a quarterback competition. They got him over there throwing their trash cans. I said, let me go talk to. I gotta go. I look like somebody's dad. Let me go over to talk. I gotta find somebody.
Yeah.
D over there throwing to the support staff. I came on. I said, listen, I gotta tell y'all, I'm hot. This is not a quarterback competition. If they had 6 slots, he'd be in the 6th. And you know what they said? Oh, don't worry about that. You know, time is coming. I said, bro, these dudes is unbothered. They literally believe. They don't. There is no part in their mind where he is not going to be successful, even if it's not here. That's the thing.
Right.
And you know what the thing is. But here's what I will say: those type of intangibles are hard to bottle, because when I watch these other quarterbacks, when I see Patrick Mahomes, I never think he's going to lose. And for once, I want that feeling.
Of course.
I want the feeling where you said, I go into every single, you said this too? I'm giving you way too much credit today. This is crazy. He said, when I got Joe Burrow, I don't play the scheduled game. I feel every single game that we walk on that field is winnable. We might not win everyone, but you have a legitimate shot. I said, man, I ain't never lived that way, bro.
I will say this, because I have conversations with some of the people in his fan base, and they really do believe in him, like wholeheartedly believe in him. I think there's a false, in my opinion, is this false perception that they believe things should just be handed to him. I think they just want to see him get a fair opportunity to show what they can do. And they believe that if it's not going to happen in Cleveland, then they want him to get the opportunity somewhere else. I don't think that they feel like that he should just be crowned the Brown starter
No.
or franchise quarterback.
That ain't it.
They believe that he should get the fair amount of chances to show what he can do. It's to the point now to where I even seen yesterday, you got some Shedeur Sanders supporters saying, I don't just feel sorry for Shedeur, I feel sorry for Dylan Gabriel. They keep throwing this poor kid out there, and he's clearly not ready, and they're making this worse for him down the road. Yeah. And so, like, sometimes, like, we kind of get bogged down on a few people in his fan base that could be, like, over-the-top, hyperbolic, or don't want you to be critical of him at all. But for the most part, a lot of them are fair, open-minded, and if you have a conversation with them, they're not as bad as what you might think they are.
And that's, once again, where we see a couple of tweets on social media and you think everybody's a lunatic, on that or a million other subjects.
Yeah.
So,